victory for the other team that made it through, which is Flame Sharks. They are also in the main stage, joining the likings of Algo, Quasar, Basement Boys, Big Academy, and Midlet there. And now, of course, we got Hyper Spirit and Flame Sharks making it in. Leaves us with one more match for today. One more match for the contender stage, which is ATRIVM taking on the Northern Lights. As you can see on your screen, we'll have Ancient, we'll have Nuke, and we might have Inferno. One of the first times we're going to see Inferno if we make it to a decider in this whole event. I don't think we have yet seen it in the EXORT Series 13. So that would be a bit of a change-up, a bit of a difference. I'm not too keen on seeing Inferno necessarily. I don't think I like the map all too much in terms of seeing it in play. But all things considered, if we get there, we got to run with it. And we'll see what's going to bring, as ATRIVM will play with Hawk again instead of Zaccarino, the Algerian that's been subbed out. And for Northern Lights, they'll play with their normal 5. Frank looking to lead a charge into B as we're starting off with Ancient. Ready Many will manage to find the opening kill. A bit of damage gets done as Unshark and Shogu. We're fighting for survival. That's a lovely frag from Hawk to be made. And it looks like ATRIVM do have some position on this side. Still trying to hold on with the bomb. Potentially in the hands of Unshark here at long. Fight as they try to make it happen. The shot is going to be taken. Unshark with 2. And Snow, that's going to be paying the price for it. ATRIVM will go up 1-0 here on the CT side. As it is Northern Lights pick. See if ATRIVM can continue the scoring here on the CT side. Good start here on the CT side. Rep on ramp. Control is taken by the Northern Lights, who will get pushed by the SMGs. Looking for some of those openings, as they've really managed to do so. Shots have been successful on it. Advantageous spot. A little bit of spraying through the smoke. Shogu running out of bullets. Soon going to find the target. And so the force buy from Northern Lights will be shut down. As another round will be taken by none other than ATRIVM here. They do manage to find a bit of control early on. And that is good, considering it is Northern. Don't know how well prepared they will be on Nuke. If that isn't the map that you're fully picking, might be one where you're kind of letting it slip a bit. I'm not going to prepare for it. So Ancient, feel like it's going to be a bit of a must-win here for Northern Lights. And so the start, definitely not qualified to be a good one. Frank is all that remains in the 1v4. As ATRIVM will be leading 3-0. A good start. Very well found for the Frenchman. So we're looking at a comeback opportunity here for Northern Lights after the 3-0 is found. Basically basing it off of the pistol and a bit of follow-ups. All in a tactical timeout to see how they can stop the bleeding for now. Definitely onto a bit of something here, ATRIVM. So we'll look to continue. on the CT side. Dupes is going to push through. The damage from the nades, the flashes in return. The CT's trying to hold on, but this could be a triple from Dupes. It is a triple. Fully flashed, but it doesn't really matter. Northern Lights shut them down in the blink of an eye. The round goes to the wayside. And it's ATRIVM getting themselves a bit of a bitter taste left in their mouth after that round. Could have been 4-0 up. Could have been a miraculous way to start of this map. But it isn't maybe as convincing as they would have liked things to be. 3-0 is pretty alright, but you're going to want to find more. For redemption would be necessary. The nades, Xellen is hit. 66 left. Good kill from Unshark to start as the opening goes to ATRIVM. Makes it 2. Good stuff here from the Frenchmen as they're the ones leading the charge going forward. Rotation cold. I think Hawk has pushed his way up inside of mid. But Jenners and Shogu clinching forward here is going to be Mines, who gets himself ready for that kill. Shogu gets taken, Jenners will get shot down, and Mains is going to continue. Just running his way through into that B side, and it's nicely executed from the youngster Mines. I think he's only 15 years old. He's playing some brilliant Counter-Strike, and so is Northern Lights in general. A beautiful way to pick up the second round, to bring the opposition down to a bunch of pistols. 16, Mines is. Played a bit for Showmakers with Dupes. And the Goss, which now plays for the team of Fight Club. Of course, they lost after winning a game against Fisher Talon. Was the only thing they found. But yeah, they did go to play inside of a qualification for qualifying for the LAN. They lost against Johnny Speeds, which is nothing to be ashamed of. But yeah, definitely been involved into the Swedish scene. All these players. Dupes and Mines definitely on top when it comes to how they've played this tournament and how their ability to show for shows. Team and a talented group full of youngsters to prove themselves, and let's say they do qualify for the next stage here. And then Northern Lights will definitely have the opportunity to put up a bit more of a statement towards organizations, maybe the individuals as well. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they can bring up and how they will. Are going to have a bit of a fighting shot here, ATRIVM. Finally back to a comfortable bye as the game gets tied up at 3 apiece. This round will be for all the marbles for who's continuing to win. Frank burns Hawk to a crisp at the start of this round. Acceleration looks to happen for the Northern Lights, who, now with that kill on Unshark, have taken full control over middle. Swing from Jenners to still come as the lurk is in play. Will soon get peeked from behind, but it's Mains fighting from front. 16-year-old with a lovely double kill already, rocking 10 kills in just 7 rounds of play. So it's going to be ATRIVM looking to save already. Northern Lights with fast and pressured Counter-Strike accelerate their way forward. From 3 to 4 in no time. And so the game continuing to grow in the favor for the Northern Lights. They have shown what they're capable of. A map so complicated as Ancient. I say complicated when it really boils down to a lot of different styles of play that you can go for in Ancient, right? You can play very aggressive, also play very tactical. In the way you're taking control, in the way you're looking for entries. You can have a lot of rushes. Frank, double kill. That's a kill from Dupes as well, who puts him to sleep. Ready Manny and Hawk are both left standing with the pistols. So it will be around going to Northern Lights, who do manage to plant. Hawk and Ready Manny looking to save their remaining pieces. So it will be 5 going to Northern Lights. No problem. Five straight. Fire ringing for the Northern Lights, who continue to bring more and more hype to the play. Another buy from ATRIVM coming out. Excellent, which I've seen struggle a bit with confidence. Playing with Frank towards middle here, as the flash will be sent in from Snow. Here comes the push, a little bit of a later mid-exec. With Frank sent back in. Jenner takes him down, and ATRIVM finally have a bit of control. That is when a lead from Mains is inbound. He's already on the B side watching. With the bomb on Snow getting dropped. It's all solo fights that Northern Lights look to take. And finally, it looks like cohesion from ATRIVM is more in play. Excellent. Has managed to take down Unshark, with Dupes finding one more. It boils down to a 2v2. Ready Manny looks to start lurking. Dupes is not checking for this just yet, but might soon do so. He thinks they're going to take too long. Does want to clear his front, but might also want to start clearing his back. Maybe Ready Manny. He's just going to walk through and get himself into cave. No, he's going to try ramp. Excellent is not expecting this, but he's in prime position also to expect this spring from Ready Manny. Starts running, thinks it's clear, and that's when Excellent goes to shoot, I think. Molly will certainly give it away. Northern Lights will run towards the A side now, and that's what Hawk has made the call for. This is such a weird round. So many layers of things going wrong with predictions, but as Dupes finds that frag, the round gets completely turned. It's all down to Excellent here. Managed to find one already. Can the man step up for his team? As Ready Manny will go for a fight. He's tapping the bomb once. Will not be going for the stick. Making noise. Excellent wins the clutch. Holds on to the side. As it will be yet another round going to the Northern Lights. 6 already. Unanswered. And definitely a good look. As they've managed to at least make sure the tide half is in quiet. Tactical timer from ATRIVM. This one is called very late. Well, now they've already lost 6 in a row, but they felt like it was going to be working. It felt like it was going to be over at some point. It really isn't. Looking to be more and more frustrated. Spiraling out of control here as Northern Lights continues to thrive, and as they have found 6 straight. So ATRIVM looking into what they can do to stop this. Stop the bleeding. That is not give away an opening fight to Frank like that. He's alone in middle, Hawk. Really just out in the open. That is going to be ATRIVM playing with a bit of a stand-in. I don't know if Hawk really is a stand-in for him. It does seem like it. It does seem like that is a replacement made last minute. Where I don't know which Hawk it is or what level he's on. But it's not the Zaccarino. That was a real good anchor player. That was a real X factor for the team, and it looks to face them quite a bit. Looking for the A-side plant here. Northern Lights just pugging their way through Ancient. A lot of individual talent shown in this round. Everybody finding at least a piece. And one might find 2. Shogu has an answer though. Bruin in the shadows. Frank misses the shot with the AWP. And now it's all down to Shogu versus Frank. Jumping across. Looking to lead. Frank can't find him. That is lovely from Frank. With the AWP. It's him and him only reigning supreme. Magnificent work from Frank in the round to clutch it up and put Northern Lights all the way up to 7. Yeah, Zaccarino is replaced by Hawk indeed, so it is, just got the confirmation for it. It is a stand-in that ATRIVM will have to play for. Just right when it's such an important match. Right when it's a matchup that is for all the marbles. Winner to stay in the event, loser to be out. Lots of people getting involved as they thought ATRIVM was going to be the better team. And this happens. That is unbelievable. Unpredictable. And so, an advantageous spot here to be in for Northern Lights in the round, in the game. Looking for 8 in a row. Rotation out will come from Mains, who is ready for it. Dupes anticipates on the push. And so full control from Northern Lights over B. That will be confirmed now by Unshark, who actually runs past. Mains there, who will start pushing forward. Faces some trouble with the D finding the frag. It's going to be boiling down to a 1v2. No bomb. Yet in the hands from Unshark. Or no kit. Yet in the hands of Unshark. So the time is really not on his side. Might be looking to save the AK. And have an AWP to muster up all the courage to find an 8-4. That is, I believe, bare minimum that is needed to make this one feasible. But Northern Lights just show, well, they're the kings of Ancient this tournament so far. They've really looked nothing but class across the board. Well played so far for the Northern Lights. Ooh, Ready Many wants to shut this down with the push on A happening. He heard the steps, he knew the sound, and Shark at least catching of the lurk. It's going to be another way to get yourself involved into this round. Nate, though, softening them up nicely. Some body shots can do the trick. Dupes will find headshots. Snow will find a body. And that is going to be just Shogu left, who will be seen over across to the smoke. It's 9 unanswered in a row by Northern Lights, who can't be stopped on the T side. 3 to start from ATRIVM. But nothing more. After that, Northern Lights controlled and calm. And just 4 rounds away from winning Ancient. Pistol round is going to be important to pick up from ATRIVM. They did so in the first half, so seeing them lose it in the second would be painful, considering it was one of their only chances they had, and it doesn't look likely. Northern Lights look to trade pistols. The fact they found almost every round other than that, it's going to bring Northern Lights very close to winning. Double digits on the board for Northern Lights here. To win the pistol, forced by from ATRIVM that will follow. I held some people in the chat room quickly, that's why you heard my typing. We're going to continue with round 14 here. Pistol round that was really important to find. Northern Lights face a mid push. There they come. Flash is great to set mines up, and together with Excellent, it's an easy cleanup from Northern Lights to find a flawless round against the force buy. It's ATRIVM either forcing again or playing an eco for OT. It is very tough. Nuke is going to have to be called upon because, yeah, this is crazy. And Hawk, of course, I mean, it is the weakest link when it comes to the individual performances right now. But the fact that he has 4 kills shouldn't be the reason why they're losing so hard. Ancient has just generally speaking been an insane map for Northern Lights. I've enjoyed Mines playing a lot, together with Dupes, both showing greatness here. Almost a 2 KD on both of them is absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, it's also Northern Lights just performing incredibly well. The youngsters showing what they're made of. And they're going to have to do it on a very tactical map of Nuke going forward. This is going to be 12. Another flawless round for Northern Lights. And now we'll have to see what ATRIVM can put up against it. And otherwise it's going to be a 13-3. This game took less than 20 minutes. Entry found for ATRIVM, which is something. Playing still up against loads of those MP9s, and we see Frank rocking an auto sniper. That is something, but it is something as well to just completely better them. Wow. ATRIVM, see ya later. They've been absolutely beaten and battered apart, better than bruised, and 13-3 is going to be the scoreline here. As it's Northern Lights controlling very nice on this map. It's been a phenomenal game for them. Nothing to really say. ATRIVM, I think they definitely deserve to have a little bit more, but the way that T side was played as well from Northern Lights, and then the shutdowns they had on the CT side, a lot of multi kills on the right place at the right time. But like I said, I think on the CT side, a lot of things came down to basic and constructed counter-strike, something you can do on Ancient, but something that you can potentially not do on Nuke. So I would say there's going to be more troubles ahead on the map of DE Nuke. I hope it's going to be more of an interesting series for the neutral viewer out there, but Northern Lights look really, really good. So I'm super excited to see what they can do on the map of Nuke, right? They can finally show their tactical insight. Their coach might definitely have something planned, as this is going to be one of the first times we see Northern Lights real base of what they can do on one of the map that I think is one of the hardest to play on the T side. So preparing potentially for the main stage in where they're going to play against more tactical opponents. I think this is definitely a good showing for them. This could be a good showing for them if they can manage to win Nuke. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are tuned. About 9 minutes, we'll continue with the second map of play, which will be DE Nuke. A chance for redemption for ATRIVM, because they definitely need to get more than those 3 rounds they've already found. Northern Lights are up 1-0 here in the series, and they do it quite convincingly with the first map being ancient, the first map being won. Now ATRIVM's pick will come up next, which is where they might find their way through. Gonna see if they are going to be able to do so, because it is a more tactical map. It's a map that is falling more into the playing book of ATRIVM, I feel like, and a lot less in the playing book from Northern Lights. The way they play it was very contact heavy, very individualistic, and that is not a map that Nuke is at all. You got to take space. You have a few corridors, a few passages that you can actually go through. And if you have an individual play towards ramp, there's usually a second player there. You cannot take outside that much by yourself. So it's going to come down to how Northern Lights put this one together. On the CT side, that's where we might see those individual plays come to life. But, well, I'm interested in seeing the T side from Northern Lights. I'm interested in seeing what they can do right there. The game, I think it's almost ready, so we are probably soon going to be able to move into it with the map of Nuke starting. A technical timeout still, but it will soon be unpaused and starting. Yeah, CT side for Northern Lights. Just generally speaking, map of Nuke. How do we feel about this one? Let's see what they've done in their previous games. If they have played it. No, they've not played it. And they haven't allowed it to slip through as well. Have they banned it as well? Let's see. Northern Lights. Against ATRIVM, they banned us too, of course. They removed Nuke against Fight Club. They removed Nuke, or they removed Mirage against Basement Boys. That being Basement Boys' insta-pick of insta-ban. They banned it against Bucks. And they banned it against Abyss. So usually the insta-ban for Northern Lights Nuke. That is not a good sign, but we'll have to see. I mean, this is a real time of proving against a map that on paper doesn't look so good for them. Running A with a little bit of a squeeze are going to be ATRIVM. They're trying to contest back of side. Dupes is watching there with Frank joining him from outside. Gonna have to start watching his flank. We'll get peeked. Frank, though. Oh my. That is a double kill and a half for Frank. He wants to make more of it. Ready Manny looks to fight for survival with also Hawk getting involved. Still a 2v2. Now down to a 2v1 as it's Hawk against 2. Hawk looks to swing. One more time. Hawk. What can he do? Not kill him yet. Frank is going to smoke off the bomb. Now looks to kill Hawk in the process. Frank is going for the stick, but it's Hawk to have shut them down. ATRIVM will lead 1-0 here on the T side. As it's Northern Lights trying to scrape up the pieces with a force of their own. They turned it around nicely. And there's still more needed. We need a little bit of a switch around between the teams. It got turned midway through, which is really weird how that happened, but hopefully it can be swapped very soon. As Northern Lights is on the CT side. ATRIVM is on T. Outer side control. Looks to be taken, but Northern Lights, or ATRIVM rather, is already down at B. Immediate vent dive, I think it was. Start getting the bomb plant here. Postman situation, mains. Oh, peeking on Unshark. That's a lovely kill. Yeah, the time is not on their side. If they would have known kills would have come this easy, maybe they would have gone for something a bit more special. But it does seem like ATRIVM will get away with this round. A little bit more damage. With the scout actually collecting another frag. Snow. is eventually going to fall to the hands of Ready Many. And so it will be a second round going to ATRIVM. Team in orange that are one step closer to it. There's the switch after the round. Another buy around these weapons for Northern Lights. Inferno might be more likely than I expected. As this is really not a map looking not too promising on paper for the Northern Lights. You insta-ban a map, your IGL. Mains went aggressive with his Nova. Will get shut down by Hawk, who has found his way around Nuke. Didn't really look all too confident on the map of Ancient, but Nuke is definitely shine bright so far. Yeah, and like I said, if it's your insta-ban, I don't know who's the IGL on the side from Northern Lights, but me personally, I've been playing as an IGL for my team a bit, and every time we play Nuke, I feel a bit worried at times how to position my team, how to rotate and maneuver around. It's really tough on the CT and T side. That might not be something Northern Lights can fix now. They might be able to fix it in the future, or they're just going to completely avoid this map forever. So advantageous for ATRIVM. With another force buy for Northern Lights, it's Frank. Has managed to open up the gate. So it's Unshark taken down. Dinner's trading, looking for two. Will be taken by Excellent. So the aggression from Northern Lights, that's looking brilliant. Looking for more, as ATRIVM tries getting their way onto this side. It's on top. So a player positioned very well, who will be good for 1 and 2. Snow hiding on the side like his life depends on it, and isolates all 3 of the fights really well. One towards window, swings towards single, and the third, he hides from the remaining player as well to have himself another 1v1. That's brilliantly played for Snow. So it is an advantageous spot here for Northern Lights in terms of a buy. ATRIVM, after those 3 they won. On Ancient, for example, they didn't win anything. Don't think the same is going to happen in this particular map, but they're back to an eco, so looks like Northern Lights will at least put up a bit more of a fight. And Mainz is getting involved again. A 3-piece for the 16-year-old. It's all down to Shogu here, wrapping around Heaven. Flash from Mainz to set him up for a push, and that is brilliant from Mainz. I mean, I will say, as a Karambit user myself, I really see how Mainz is moving around the map, playing really potent. Every time you get a kill, you switch to that thing. It gives you that bit of dopamine that you need in order to continue swinging. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. Outside push, Frank looking to go aggressive, ready many watches, and runs by to find the opener. The first full buy from ATRIVM in a while. Goes well at the start. 2-piece towards Ram being taken, and oh no, a team kill. Hawk sends a Shark away, and that's Mines falling, so control over the B side here. Been taken, Dupes will look to try and deny, but the wall bang will not find its target. So it's going to be 4 for ATRIVM here on the T side of Nuke. This is a really promising start. For ATRIVM. They're putting themselves real nicely on the board on this one. They win the next. Northern Lights will go back to pistols. This is where ATRIVM strikes. I think this map is and this series is definitely one to kind of face the part of inexperienced rosters. And sometimes things just gotta be like this, right? You see Ancient, you think, yeah, that's the best map in the pool for Northern Lights. ATRIVM lose that one. And then, yeah, ATRIVM, they don't like to play this particular map because ATRIVM is pretty good on it. And then ATRIVM can pick Nuke and win this one pretty convincingly. I mean, it's not the case yet that they've won it, but the fact that it's the insta-ban for Northern Lights, the fact that ATRIVM is 4-1 up already on the T side of it, it's all looking to give over signs that this is also going to be a very one-sided game. And then the series that on paper already looked like it was going to end on Inferno will do exactly that after about 1.5 to 2 hours of playing. We come down to the same thing as we originally expected. Unless Northern Lights can obviously show up some, and is at least shown in this round. I mean, they've already done a lot better than I think ATRIVM did on the map of Ancient, so it is definitely a bit of something. Northern Lights. From 2, they go to 3. So the advantageous spot for ATRIVM here. They will be on the T side, running in, chiming through, run across, and damage done. ATRIVM. Fast play when Northern Lights felt like they had control. They do take control back. Frank with a 2-piece. And snow from the heavens, making ATRIVM fall to their knees. This is a real tough round to see. On paper, with the push, it felt so much possible. Excellent though. Gonna miss out his chance to really fire up. Bit of a rough time for him, and Generous has just turned this round around. Plenty. It's Excellent. He's going to get shut down by Generous. He finds the piece. Puts ATRIVM up to 5. Now, they are going to be at least managing to find a pretty promising half look. Advantageous spot. Hawk dropping in right on top of Mines, who went aggressive to be shut down. That's a 2-piece from Hawk. Outside, immediately taken. As ATRIVM find the man advantage. ATRIVM making her way across and to the heavens, where Snow is still good for the one. The run up from Hawk, he's just bugging his way through. A very good individual player who felt maybe a bit too much used on the map of Ancient for too slow type of purposes. Here he's just been allowed to run and gun. And we see what's come from it. A 10-5 performance from Hawk, which is way more than we saw on Ancient in the time span of 6 rounds, right? On Ancient, he found 4 kills. Here he's on 10 in 9 rounds of play. That's half of the time, but more than double the kills. Frank, can he stay alive? Ready Manny will flash him down, but the flashbang pops too late. It's Frank to be taken. He takes Ready Manny away. It's going to be ATRIVM. Go in for 5-6. Advantageous. They will certainly look to go to. It's Mines that gets the AK drop. Frank will play with an SMG. The rest of the Northern Lights players that will save around. So ATRIVM might very well go for 7 already. And so yeah, the outcome of this series looks really to be a map trade. Both teams just finding their map pick. And Inferno that will follow up. Still, like I said, way too early to really say, but the guidance and the opening path has really been laid for exactly that storyline. Generous opens up nicely. That's going to be Frank taken away immediately. Bomb goes down easily. That is going to be the 7th round for ATRIVM. Mains might want to save the AK for the next full buy round. That might be the only thing that's left for him to really do. Attempts of making a comeback here have really started. It is 7-3 already. Good story. Fast push, ATRIVM. They control over A on the back of side. It's Dupes immediately getting taken away. Rush through the smoke, will be shot down. Azure Sharks takes quick care of Hawk. Hawk is the only one that drops, actually. Takes quick care of Excellent. Chiming in. Frank. Here's the pull of the molly. We'll know enough on where to shoot and kill. Both down low. All 4. Softened up nicely. So this retake is still somewhat promising for Northern Lights. It's one of the many rounds they're going to have to find. Dropping out of heaven might be the only way, as Snow is allowed to shut them down. That's a 2-piece to convert a 3K. One more round added to the tally from Northern Lights. As they do already find more rounds than ATRIVM did on Ancient. That is an accomplishment as of a whole. The final round in the half will be a weaker weapon buy from ATRIVM themselves, who, besides having so many more rounds than their opponents, have lesser kills in the killing department. So, all in all, I think Northern Lights don't look too bad going forward here. They're still going to be pretty happy about how they have performed. They simply just haven't been able to convert the rounds necessary. Although many of the rounds they've been able to play with the loads of exit frags. So how much it does really bring to the table, how much this statistic that I brought up with the amount of kills is really going to matter, I'm not too sure. ATRIVM ultimately have just been able to run and gun their way into sites various times, and after that there was a retake that was almost impossible. So yeah, then saving is the likely outcome, and then finding exit frags is the likely way of approaching it. So yeah, we'll see. Ready many. Good start in this round with the AK towards outside. That's a solo play and a half on Frank. Taken. And so the AK that will be put into the pockets from Shogu. Everybody now rocking a rifle on the ATRIVM side. Dropped in through vent is going to be Jenners, who is ready to find mines. Hawk will help him to convert the kill. And so ATRIVM accelerate into B. There's a smoke that will be put up, and yeah, Hawk is continuing to fight. Hawk is playing his stand-in role real nice on a map of Nuke, where you felt like Ancient was going to be a map where he had more freedom to maneuver around. It's actually Nuke where he finds on the T side of all sides most of his freedom on. And so ATRIVM convert the half in an 8-4. Still have the CT side to work with. So this is really looking like a promising team to make us go to a third. They just needed a map to warm up. I see Red in the chat. That might also have to be have something to do with it. There's one weird phone downstairs. I'm not too sure what that was. We'll go to the pistol round here in the second half. If ATRIVM can find it. We know how late it is, what time it is. Time for victory. Beginning strong here at this second half pistol. Excellent down low. Naded away. What a nade bomb from Unshark. Nice two-piece there. Snow and Mines are left with P250s. Bringing through ramp. Gets ready with a shot. That's a two-piece. Okay, Mines. Makes this round ever so slightly more possible. As that should be it. Shogu shuts down the bomb carrier again. Player from Heaven is going to make some noise, is going to make some wiggles. This is a real tough fight. The P250 from close range is not always it. And Mines spots out wide, jumping back and forth. This is a faceit level 5 bug we're watching. We're going for knives. Mains is running back into the site. Has the bomb and drops the B. Wait, what is going on? Mains is in, but so will be Jenners. What is happening? A plant for Mains. A shot that will be found for Shogu. That is a very messy round from two professional teams. Take it as you want. It is ATRIVM finding it. ATRIVM will be on 9. Goodbye on Northern Lights, but because of the plant, they will find themselves at least a bit of a buy. Frank will look to push and pull across. On the side will be a great shot from Ready Many. Running a double kill. Hawk has been to the outer side. I will say though, guys, this is not the easiest match to cast because of so many people not having any player cams. You're going to look at the players' names through the walls or something. It's really, really hard. And particularly on the map of Nuke, where it's already so hard to find players and see them. Basing it off of no pictures. Yeah, you must tell me who Jenners and Shogu are now on the minimap. That is Jenners taking him away. A 2-piece from ATRIVM in the end to find the round. Put Northern Lights back 2 pistols. As it is 11. Most likely also added to the tally. From that point onwards, we are preparing ourselves for Inferno. So yeah, a third map, Inferno, that might potentially be played. And very likelihood of them being played. And that is a map where both teams are more 50-50 on. Ancient, on paper, should have been an easy win for Northern Lights. Is an easy win. Northern Lights Instaban is Nuke that's being played. ATRIVM is looking great to win that one. But in Inferno, it looks to be neutral territory for either one of them. And that will be a flawless round added to the tally. No damage from Northern Lights done. Nothing to worry about. Just AKs all over the board. Both teams are looking real class. Their approaches. They're both map picks. The other team, though, has been falling behind a bit this game. Frank and Snow show up more. Dupes and Mines not feeling themselves as much. And Hawk, I'm just surprised how he's been playing. He is hitting everything. And it's just going to push, right? Hawk is going aggressive every single time on the T side. He was an absolute force on the CT side. He's wallbanging someone through the door. Then goes on to peek further into lobby. Exactly what you want him to do. Down at B. Still waiting are Jenners and Hawk that is in position to go to decom. Single door. Might get swung with double getting challenged by Unshark. There goes the plant. Single door opens. Leaves Excellent to not want to peek this necessarily. Still opened up. Good fight from Unshark as he finds a 2-piece. It's all down to Excellent. Will be left down to 1 HP. 9 in total for him as he will be shut down. It's a round going to the ATRIVM side to find themselves 12. That is no CT rounds lost just yet. It might continue to be. As the final round will also be just an okay buy, but not that much. Northern Lights want to prepare themselves for Nuke, or for Inferno rather. As that is going to be the stack station for this train. Northern Lights still looking for a fast play in this one. Mentally should start preparing themselves already for Inferno. They got about 10 minutes to do so, and maybe a bit more if they can still win out some rounds here and there. At least they will still try to hit their shots a bit, prepare their aim, but that's already the first from Jenners going through. Mines is lurked up all the way into the heavens. Watches to main as it's Shogu finding one. He swings back to the side. He might be faced with a dangerous surprise with Mines already being there, and so should be a bit of an okay shutdown here. A bit of lag here and there, although Ready Many might hit off in. ATRIVM wins the next map. 13-4. Nuke goes to the Frenchman. As the first map was 13-3, the second 4-13. Hopefully, Inferno is going to be a bit more exciting. This was kind of a formality, right? The first map going to Northern Lights, the way they picked it. Second map going to ATRIVM. I've mentioned this countless times. It was the insta-ban from Northern Lights. Usually, they wanted something cheeky. They tried something new, but Nuke was picked and easily stolen away from them. Let's see what Inferno can bring us. Let's see if it can bring us some hype here as we're entering the final stages of the contender stage. The last map deciding it all. Who will be our 8th team joining? ATRIVM or Northern Lights after the break. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the EXORT series, where we're going to be in the final map of the contender stage. Tomorrow, we'll already start with the main Swiss stage, but for today, this is the final matchup for the contender stage. This is the final matchup, so there's still lots to be decided. Will be either Northern Lights or the squad of ATRIVM making it through into the next stage of Swiss, and Inferno, where this will be decided on. The map that is very well known for its deciders that can always be excited on deciding matches. And in a series where, honestly, there's been so much going on already, with two maps going the way of the two respective teams in a very convincing fashion, 13-3 and then 4-13, means that Inferno, a beautiful middle ground, I think, between Ancient and Nuke when it comes to how things are played. I do feel like this map can only be a banger. My opinion about Inferno is that it can usually be a bit safe heavy and so a bit boring, but we'll have to see what these two teams are going to be able to bring up. I do definitely think that there's something in it for everybody with the way things have been played. Choose takes a little bit longer for things to get set up. As Northern Lights found the pistol, they can choose whether they want to stay or switch. Maybe they have made their opinion a bit later, or they have had some time to think about how things were going, and do need some problems solved still. I'm not too sure. Almost all the teams in the main Swiss stage have already been decided, so we know 6 out of 8 of them already confirmed. So that is also quite excited to announce and to see those particular teams play tomorrow. Rustak, 1 win, K27, Woppa, Nuclear, Tigers, and WW. So yeah, definitely some names that we have seen a lot from in the past, right? Woppa with K27, Rustak that we've already seen play in this event. 1 win with also major champion Hobbit. So yeah, I think it can only be going up from this in terms of what teams we see and what storylines will be made and written and broken. Contender stage is just a warm-up for what is more to come. Fight in middle, where it looks like players are hugging each other a bit through the smoke. Mainz has found a bit of a timing, but Northern Lights have managed to at least, ATRIVM have managed to at least find the site. They have chosen the CT side, or Northern Lights have chosen the CT side. So there we go. Teams are swapped, and Hawk is getting himself ready. Oops. Coming out. Victorious from the fight. A lot of fights are needed to be won, but every time trades come, which puts Northern Lights into the driving seat. Mainz is going to tap once, pulls out his USP. Fight will come towards the apartments, and as the time is running low, it looks like Shogu has managed to win out this round. He plays it smart, he plays it long, and he will be winning out the long game. ATRIVM to pick up round number 1 here on the T side. Northern Lights lose the retake. They played an alternative setup, as Mainz didn't really see anybody. He was pushing that smoke at the exact time the rep came from ATRIVM as well through apps. So a bit unfortunate in the retake played, but the time not on the side of Northern Lights there. And for the 3rd time in a row, ATRIVM is the first to find the first pistol. That still doesn't guarantee anything, because with the outcome of this game, with the way things have been played, Northern Lights on Ancient found the comeback. On Nuke they didn't, but yeah, on Ancient they did. So we'll have to see if this is a beginning of something brewing, or if it's another showing like it was on Ancient. Second smoke deployed at B. That is the only 2 smokes Northern Light possessed, but they do have 4 men at the B side. Originally, with this double smoke, you would think someone is just juggling smokes, right, at CT. There's only 1 at the B side, and the rest will be A. And that's something I think ATRIVM suspects here. Well, it is, in fact, a 4-man setup here towards B. So the wrong call is made, but let's see if they can still come out victorious. Doesn't seem to be. A lot of blue in the kill feed as a Chogu down to 50. Get it with Ready Manny having to shut this one down, but the boost comes into play. As Shogu will not be able to check that. And so, bomb out of reach. Ready Manny clearing the heavens and finding a double this round. It's turned around nicely with Ready Manny potentially lurking all the way towards A. He's going to make that play. Mainz is expecting this. And will already be there, although he might make some noise in the process. No, he's starting to shift now. Already Manny is going to make noise to plant. Mainz is already on short. This might be what Manny is expecting. He reloads once, checks for short, wants to check back and forth. And Mainz is ready for it. What a clutch from the youngster. Another piece found for Northern Lights early. The pistol round not converted for ATRIVM, because it's the force buy and the stack at B from Northern Lights that works out wonderfully against ATRIVM. Brilliantly finding success here. And against all odds, Northern Lights to win the 2nd round of play. ATRIVM will force buy, only 1 person surviving. So I definitely get why they're going for a force buy like this. Attempting to break Northern Lights back. That really is which way this game should go for. Aggression, leaping, Jenner's taken by Frank. That will be the opening kill for Northern Lights immediately. ATRIVM trying to split up after. The hold looks to be promising here for Northern Lights. 2 in apps. That will also find Unshark. 2 1 pieces taken as ATRIVM fight quite a bit solo towards CT. They do the same, and so 3 1v1 fights going away of Northern Lights. If there's one thing you shouldn't do against these youngsters, it is give over those 1v1 fights. And yeah, we're seeing everything. 1v1 fight towards CT, 1 towards long, 2 in apps, and now the final piece that is going to be taken. Northern Lights abusing what style ATRIVM are playing. And they are going to start paying the price for it if they continue to play like this. Yeah, what map did Northern Lights exactly ban? I'm excited about. They banned Dust 2 against ATRIVM. Okay, it is a map they would much less rather play than Nuke. Felt like they would have had a bigger chance on Dust 2, but yeah. Inferno again looks pretty promising, but I'm saying that whenever Jenners just runs them down. Dupes finds 1. Nice shot through the smoke. As Mainz takes away Shogu. Gonna be the man advantage taken here for Northern Lights. Action from Mainz as he catches off Ready Manny. The The rest should be easily taken. 2 kills still with the pistols. I think that's still nicely found. ATRIVM do enough in terms of bringing the economy down of Northern Lights a bit. But it's still too early to tell. There will be loads more to fight for. The remaining parts of the half. Apartments getting challenged here with a bit of a nade. Aggression through B. ATRIVM sends themselves in. Nade to the back as in sandbag still. We got a player hiding. That is Frank getting involved, getting ready. Frank finding one. A 2-piece with the USP. That is miraculous. How did he do that? From a sandbag's position that should be instantly mollied. ATRIVM simply don't have the resources, don't have the utility for it to clutch it out. From that point, it's just a downward spiral. Northern Lights take everything. It's ATRIVM. And absolutely nothing. Top of car, Frank. Aggressively sending them in. Ready many from Boiler. Dupes has been boosted. He's ready and waiting up top. Snow gets taken. Frank, good for a third. Towards Banana. Aggression from Dupes. This is the only way you lose a round if you go aggressive in such an advantage, but it works out for Northern Lights. Still cool now, calm and collected in the way they push. And they push ATRIVM further down the drain. Ready to get flushed even further down. They're playing with armor pistol now. Controlled aggression from Northern Lights. Another impressive performance from Mines and Frank in this game. Dupes playing okay. This is exactly what you need from Northern Lights to see them shine. Might as well be ATRIVM just need to get taken away. The odds heavily in the favor from ATRIVM at the start of this game, but same for Hyper Spirit. Those are teams that can really upset. Has ATRIVM proven themselves? No, not really. Are they playing with a stand-in? Yes, they are. That is Hawk, though, who finds himself a double just now when I'm talking about him, but it doesn't help. With a stable player as Zacharino that's then all of a sudden not playing with you anymore. Building up something from the ground again. It's a Northern Lights that's full of youngsters that are getting better and better every single day they play, every tournament they strike, every game they play. Taken away. Ready many. Another swing might be found as Mains will squeeze across. Get smoke flash. Definitely the kit you want of utility in this retake. Tapping away one. Now, expecting he might be a dark. The swing comes. The flash pops too late for his kill. For his fight against Hawk. And so, it's Hawk that is clutch for ATRIVM. Another round going to the Frenchman. As it is a second going the way of ATRIVM. Weaker buy. For the Northern Lights. Coming next, but now already having an SMG on Frank, for example. Only one left at B. Push will come from ATRIVM. Taking space, a Banana. Waiting ever alone will be Frank himself. Left him with just an MP9. Alone at B. Not the best weapon for the job. Boost over top of the smoke as Frank will get taken. That was the sole defender at B. The rest from Northern Lights probably look to save at A. The bomb could be transported over. They might just find the B side completely empty. Could also overplay themselves here and start wrapping back to B. Or wrapping back to A. That's where the setup from Northern Lights is. So I honestly think that ATRIVM could still outplay themselves. But it seems as if they're going to be ready to set up for B. And everything is just a formality at the end of the day. There's the utility. It's all wasted to execute an empty site, but better safe than sorry, ATRIVM says. So they're not going to have anyone facing them. Clearing every nut and cranny. As it is Northern Lights saving at A. Ready Many will make sure no second mid save, no apartments getting pushed. Means they're all on A. And ATRIVM will just hold on for dear life to their weapons. So will Northern Lights. And Route 7 goes by in a blink of an eye. And so it's a bit of a longer game because it is Inferno. These rounds take a bit longer. The bombs will find a full 40-second countdown sometimes. It's just the way it is. ATRIVM taking full effect of it right here. So, with an advantageous spot still for Northern Lights, as we know. Continue our campaign here on Inferno. ATRIVM just one away from tying up the game again. I will say, we know this is the final game of the day. We know this is the final map of the contender stage, so no matter what, we'll have a winner. No matter what, we'll have an ending. Let's hope we end it in a bit of a style. Would be fun to see a bit more of a closer game than the 13-3, 13-4 we've had. Teams are already doing quite good on making that a thing. Jenner's walking through. Nade is good. To find Shogu there. Jenner's ready. One piece for him. Back on CT will be close up. Close in. Snow has been partially hit up. He's playing alone at B. While Dupes is alone at A. So this will be a real interesting round. ATRIVM getting ready to push their way through. Smoke on Long and Modo. As there will be an execute into the A side. The only one left there will be Dupes with a nade flash smoke in his hand still. But will probably use his aim. Or at least he tried. To no avail. Unshark manages to take him away, and now it's just Snow left. All of a sudden, in a 2v1, Snow chiming in, getting close, who's close at bay, and will be shut down by Unshark. That is a lovely round from ATRIVM. It is a 4-4, a tied game. As we do see Northern Lights lose some of that early control in this game. First few rounds looked really good for the youngsters, but looks as if ATRIVM found a bit of momentum back. 4-1 turned into 4-4, and it could be 4-5 really soon. Bye is by no means a good one for the Northern Lights. Aggression through amps from the Sol MP9 fighter. Mains ready, swinging. Can't take him down. Ready Many. Allowed to open up. The advantage will be found from ATRIVM here. Advantageous as it is. You need to look for a bit more. No aggression from Northern Lights elsewhere. They're just going to stick to their gut and hope for the best. Looks as if Ready Many, or particularly ATRIVM, will walk right into this. Hawk is lurking long at the same time. That's where the smokes will be tossed. One towards Library and one in Arch. Hawk is sent into entry. Mini pit having to be cleared. Back of side as well, where Hawk is looking good for the first. Sugar will help him convert. And another player that's playing inside of mini pit will get pushed. Final player is Snow. They don't know of his position, but they do have a suspicion. And now with his head popping up left, right, and center, it's Ready Many. To not take no as an answer. He shuts him down. He came from apps. A nice lurk in play. ATRIVM, for the first time in this series, they're actually in the lead. As all, oh, not for the first time in this series. The first 3 rounds they were in the lead on Ancient. Then Northern Lights found 13 straight. And here they're going to be for the second time in this game, finding themselves across and in to a leading position. On a map like Inferno, on the T side. Don't know how well Northern Lights will have their T side ready. We definitely need to see some of those solo plays coming out on the T side like we've seen in the past, but Hawk is playing real good T side. He's entering together with Jenners, making their way across into the side. CT being smoked off, leaves Excellent left all by himself. With him not getting any help, it was a hard fight nevertheless. Hawk is accelerating even further. Hawk just wants to say goodbye to all of them. Mains reacts, but needs 3 more. And he has dupes with him, but he's still far away. Now joins him just about. With 30 seconds left and a kit to work with, the time might not be necessarily an issue. But the positions that ATRIVM have are very well coordinated. A crossfire between Dark and Pit. And Shark takes him and he tries to run them down through the smoke, accelerating. As Dupes is allowed to find ATRIVM there, and Shark there taken down. Puts the 6th on the board here for ATRIVM. They have really accelerated on their T side. And I mentioned before, and for the players of Northern Lights, it would be a nice breakthrough in some of the players' career as well to qualify for the next stage of such big event, where they will be able to play against some of the better Tier 3 organizations, or teams, organizations. Actually, not really. We have an organization like OneWin, been invited, K27. They've all found their way across, and can organization-wise call them a bit higher. They just have a CS team that is not yet there. All things considered, though, promising looks for ATRIVM all over the board, though, to shut down this Northern Lights team. Still finding themselves by no means in control. The advantageous spot is real sweet for ATRIVM. A bit of trading towards Banana that came in the early round. As Hawk is willing to entry once more. This man is just saying, I don't give a damn. You guys just follow me. I'll lead the way. Dark will have to be cleared. That is, in my eyes, still a tough call to make. Bomb is going A, though. That's not something Northern Lights expect. Hawk is just crouching forward. He's going to clear Dark. Triple first. And checking Dark after. He's going to walk right into the hands of Snow. With all the anticipation, ATRIVM just executes A, finishes there, plants the bomb. This is a post plant. Worth mentioning. What a stellar execute from ATRIVM. Well played. Very well played by the Frenchman. No one coming banana. That information will be called everyone. Ready from long. Now going short. Unshark watches the mid cross. They're not expecting this. Checking it briefly, swinging fully now as Mains expects it for some reason. Runs up closer, short. Ready Many watching the side cross. Well, it is Shogu up close, making noise. A 1v1 with a pit plant and the time running low. 5 seconds needed to plant, 5 seconds needed to defuse, and nothing more. As Dupes gets shut down by none other than Ready Many. Another clutch for the man who's already topping the table at ATRIVM. In doing so, with a legendary kill at the end. A lot closer now than they were before. 4-1 it once was, and now it's 4-7. This streak of 6 has already guaranteed them so much in terms of momentum. But yeah, it's still far away from being a game that's won by one or another. But it's for sure one to remember. It was one of those points of potential no return, because Northern Lights looked to get nothing done afterwards. 4-1 into probably 4-8. And then let's say the pistol goes for ATRIVM. This game could be over. That's how far we have gone. From a comfortable spot to a stretch loss. Span of just a few rounds. Jenners wants to aggress through the smoke. Looking into it with a flash. He's going to find himself the first. Not the second though. Frank takes him away. Advantageous spot gets found by ATRIVM. They're going to leap their way onto the side 3 from apartments. With the red back from Northern Lights, they will look to join on long. Close smoke. Hawk is in prime position to go for this fight. Flashbang to send them in, but that's not good for Mines. Not good at all. It's shut down by Hawk. And with that, it could very well be 8-4 for ATRIVM here. Bomb slowly getting off. Frank will get a kill through the smoke. That's magnificent. And Shark, a chance to fight for long, and he takes Dupes with him. Looking to push. Frank is up close and personal, but can't be winning that one out. It's ATRIVM to answer back from a 4-1 to a 4-8. What a turnaround from the French. On Nuke, we saw most of the kills going to Northern Lights, but it was ATRIVM winning. Now, most of the kills going to Northern Lights again. But ATRIVM is better on finishing the rounds off successfully. You might have retakes that are close, but if you don't defuse the bomb, there's nothing left but rounds for the T team. And the same could be now. Dual Berettas on both Hawk and Ready Many. Hawk is pretty interesting to have those dual Berettas on. Being the stand-in, but he's been playing phenomenal when he's had the room to fight. He's really shown what he's worth. Apartment's getting pushed here. 2-man for ATRIVM still posted up there. How will the crossfire do? Ready Many, good for 1. Taken, Shogu. All that's left from the pit. Taken by Dupe. So some trading is initiated. The bomb is out in the open. With Dupe still willing to take the risk to fight back. Hawk dropped his dual Berettas over. Just goes for a USP peek instead. And a 1-tap is taken as well. This man has been playing crazy. The first round, the first map, he found just 4 kills. On Nuke, he finished in 20 numbers, and now he's on 11 after 12 rounds of play. Okay, 13, excuse me, but that's still way above what we saw. Frank. Oh boy, just headshot away. Frank can't do it. Imagine if Frank would have found that round. That would have been a turnaround of a lifetime, but Northern Lights don't manage to get it done. So damn close, yet so far away again from the Swedes. And And if we're talking about how far this game has gone, this is a very important round, the next one for Northern Lights to win. Otherwise it will be eco, and who knows what can come after. But let's say that all happens, of course, and it's all pushed through. Yeah, Northern Lights, they have definitely shown that they're a worthy contender in the contender stage. Hopefully can join us on the next EXORT series again. But it does look like their run would then be coming to an end very soon. That's all if they lose the next round, of course. And the eco after. As we obviously got a lot more rounds to play. Fast push out in B. ATRIVM. Make space around the corner. That's Shogu taken away. The only one on A is going to be Ready Many. They played a triple B setup. But Shogu goes for a lone mid fight. I don't know what ATRIVM was thinking there. Ready Many has the opportunity to single-handedly just take them all down. I guess it doesn't even matter if a misplay's been made. Because Ready Many will just shut you down. What in the world was that? They make a very big misplay, because that is something that can never happen at this level. Shogu finds alone in mid, dies. Everyone wondering, what the hell were you doing? What the hell were you thinking? And then Ready Many says, I got you, mate. I'll just take 4. 3 with the SMG and then 1 with the USB, because why not? I guess that is what this map is all about. It doesn't matter how many kills Northern Lights get. It's up for them to win the round anyway. Same has been happening on Nuke. Lots of remorse shown by Northern Lights, but always the side or a round being turned around nicely. Took advantage. Great for Ready Many. 2 Ps, jump in MP9. Will make matters worse as it's going to be all down to Frank. Left alone. In a 2v1. Bowman is back and is waiting for a mistake from ATRIVM to be made. They're going to walk right into him. So he might be good for a headshot. He might be good for one of them, but then the second will be unsure. Yeah, he's not checking that anymore. ATRIVM winning it out. Unshark, the captain, stepping up in the end to clean up the mess that was made by Northern Lights. And they find 4 kills, but surprise, surprise, they did not win the round. Inners getting aggressive, taking away mains. That's okay. That is a fast play from Northern Lights again. We don't give it now. We'll just bug our way through because that works. Yeah, mains. That is. And this is so weird because this worked from mains, right? He's all the way CT now. I mean, their coach just says go kill. Like mains, I guess. Let's try that. Just push and push and push, and maybe it works. And yeah, it does. So it's so weird how that happened exactly, but and why they possibly didn't do that sooner. Just go aggressive, take those 1v1 fights, because you're better. And we'll see if they go for that again, right? They could very well. But we gotta find out how that is. Going to look. Pulls by from ATRIVM here. Might go kill. Was the call in the previous round. See if it is now as well. Frank traded by Hawk, who looking phenomenal. An AK pickup again. Cannot drop it over to Ready Many. It's the one leading or leaving the site as last. Shogu. Still the only one holding at the A side. Will try to swing and finds Mains in the process. Not Mains go kill in this round, as he's been shut down short. Challenged by Shogu, who's one of the pieces mostly needed from the Absolute. 4 players survive with pistol armor, as Northern Lights don't have their go kill again in their strat book. Get shut down for the second last time. They need one more time to be all 5 dead, or a defuse must happen. As ATRIVM, I mean, this game got closer than the last time, right? 13-3, then 13-4, and maybe 13-5 now. I mean, it is a closer game, technically speaking, but in a way that I don't think many of us saw coming. I was sure of the fact that Inferno was going to be a closer game than this, and yeah, Northern Lights, at least this might bring him something. Good trade from Shogu still coming out. Bomb is still left at Scooter. Shogu will be taken away eventually. The only piece of the puzzle found this time around has now been destroyed. Frank will be found by Ready Many, and that will leave the bomb. Have to cross this dangerous lake of a shark, who actually could have just won the round simply with that kill on Excellent. It won't be. And Northern Lights fight, live to fight another day. Needing a bit more for him. Let's see what they can do. Calling in a tactical time with their Northern Lights. Yeah, it's... At least it is them showing composure here. But it could still be them getting much closer away. Flashbang to send them into Banana. Fight has done some good work, and it's Frank. He's managed to find the opening. Hawk. Up close and personal, doesn't fight for more, and eventually the B side is in the control of Northern Lights. A side rather, that's been taken. B side that was mainly fought over though. Only one on A. Was all that was needed to be found, and yeah, plus Wing forward, our Mains and Frank. Now we'll see what ATRIVM will put up against it, although it was a force by last time. I thought it was an eco actually. So all in all, Northern Lights are pretty happy with the way this game is still turning out to be. It gets closer than I think many of us expected after how fast things declined and how fast their momentum was decaying, how much their chances were decaying, and now she slowly but surely find themselves a bit of a way in. Seven for the Northern Lights, turn into 8. As this was a pistol buy from ATRIVM. Quick B exec. Frank sends 2 to the heavens, and now it looks to be the finishing touch. Good shot from Hawk still. He continues to show what he can do as a stand-in. Hawk is all by himself, wanting to save this AK desperately, and he will manage to do so. So not too much to worry about. The AK found and given into the next round. As Northern Lights have no more losses. They can not accept any more losses in this game. It's all winning from this point onwards if they want to continue. And 4 more is not looking unlikely. They had at some point found 5 rounds. Now they're at 8, so 1.5 times what they've already done. It's easier said than done, I guess. Just 4 more, huh? The first full buy that we're seeing right now, that is going to be their real challenge. Ready, Manny. Gone unknown. Excella looks to entry. Hawk shuts him down. Crossfire on mid should be enough. That's a 2-piece already. Making matters a whole lot worse in the time span of the first, like 15 seconds. Snow, though, answers nicely, but Ready Manny has one hell of a fight. A 3-piece for him, with Unshark finishing off the deal. ATRIVM is victorious on Inferno, is victorious against Northern Lights. A reverse sweep was needed to qualify for the main stage of Swiss, but they have done it. ATRIVM prove themselves.